Hello, everybody. How is it going today?
So we got a pretty exciting match today. We have Mathulu versus Kanra, both in the upper bracket at the winner's side. So both players kind of having made their way through the Swiss, through the other rounds quite effectively. So this should be a pretty exciting one to watch.
Absolutely. I am very excited for this.
So looking at the board, it's sort of very interesting. We see a lot of defeat on the board. That should be pretty exciting. And in terms of early goals, of course, there's all the random obtains. There's defeat the False Knight and the Brooding Moloch, but there's also the Lore Tablets in Mantis Village. It'll be interesting to see if either player chooses to sort of rush Fungal, both being a very dense dense area for checks, as well as having access to that goal. You know, because these runners are all very familiar and learned with these skips, so we could see even an Infection Pogo or an Infection Pogo, or maybe walking all the way around from Green Path to get into Fungal.
Countdown just happened, so we should be getting the race underway here momentarily once the restream catches up. Yeah, what do you think the first play is going to be here? Do you think we're going to see them both go for that Moloch rush, or do you think we'll see something else?
I believe so, yeah. I think, both players may even skip Fury, given, how fast they know the other player is, and, how important getting those early goals is on a board with so many random obtains. I think I count 6. So, it'll be interesting to see where they choose to check. Do they skip Fury? Do they even maybe skip a Zelda? And, how that impacts False Knight, Brooding Moloch rush.
One thing to keep in mind there is there are a fair amount of obtain heavy goals, and that means that shops is also pretty powerful here. So you might see somebody even decide to opt for rushing shops as opposed to the typical boss rush early on.
That's true. It's also going to be interesting to see when, if ever, our runners choose to check grubs. We could see one runner choose to kind of give up the False Knight Brooding Moloch goal in order to get an advantage for some of these random obtains later.
Yeah, interesting to note there that both runners go for the typical Vengefly Pogo at the very start in King's Pass, and both of them got trolled and decided to just go around the long way. It was kind of funny.
Yeah, and both runners just about synced up. I think Mathulu was about a nail hit slower than Kanra there.
And what's funny about that is they both probably think they're behind.
Yeah. And it looks like neither runner chooses to skip Fury. I think that's been the case for most of these runs. And we'll see what they choose to do after that. And just an Egu, which does put them closer to that obtain 4 Rancid Eggs goal, but is not going to be a progression towards anything else.
Yeah, 4 Rancid Eggs being a thing. For once, we like to see those Egus.
Yeah.
Memes aside, we're always happy to see the Egus. All right, so on the board here, we got Heavy Blow, Steady Body. We got World Sense, Monomon, Long Nail, Mark of Pride. Let's see if Zelda has any of these.
A lot of eggs, with enough Geo, they could just go to a Zelda and rush that goal.
Right. So yeah, here's the moment of truth. Let's find out what our runners are going to do. So early on here, you can check grubs. You can rush Moloch, because that would get you towards that Moloch and False Knight goal. You can go straight into just going for False Knight for progression. You can go to shops to try to get an early lead on some of those random goals. Math is opting for the grub play. And Kanra is
opting for the grub play. And Kanra has also skipped Moloch. It'll be interesting to see, whether both runners kind of end up in, a kind of Chicken Little situation where they have to, where they both think that the other runner has gone for False Knight Brooding Moloch, so they kind of put it off, and it's just kind of, who breaks first.
So yeah, that looked to me, did I see that right? Was there a cloak at like 20, and then there was C-Dash, I think, at 6? Not sure if I saw anything else relevant at grubs, but...
Yeah, I think there might have been an egg, but Besides that, nothing much. But even still, just those two, you know, the dash and the C dash, very powerful, even if they are at very high grubs.
Okay, Dash Master was 2, so that could be relevant if there's a early cloak or if there's an early Sprint Master somewhere else for that zoom.
Yeah, that's true. And you know, with Dash Master, both these runners, you know, again, very well versed in skips. So Dash Master might be used for a spike tunnel, maybe to check Glowing Womb or to get into Isthmus Grove.
Right. Spore Shroom. That is in medium logic. That is a Balder killer, so that could be relevant for progression into Green Path or to the Soul Catcher check in Ancestral Mound later.
Just a Vessel Fragment at the Dirt Mustag.
We'll see if
looks like Connor's heading to shops.
Yeah, I think Kanra in general is a big fan of going for the potential early random goal of stuff when you have multiple charm goals on the board, because of course there's 2 charm goals on the board. That means there's 4 potential charms in shops. Shops by nature, they can only have 1 progression item in them. So like 1 like cloak or claw or wings or something like that, but there's not really a limit as far as how many of like charms and other things could be there. So you could always have that payoff for you. It's a good gamble to make a lot of the time.
Yeah,
except
you know,
when it doesn't
a lot
work
of these. Yeah, well, I think a lot of these random goals very much are not progression in any sense. So we could see this being very fruitful as Mathulu goes for False Knight and Kanra chooses to go to Slide Salubra.
Yeah,
well, maybe not Salubra. We'll see if she sets up the Shade Skip.
She's got that low HP, so I think she was setting up.
Yeah,
for that,
I think that makes sense. Yep.
So here, Mathulu making this play gets 3 possible checks past False Knight. 1 from False Knight, 1 from the chest, and 1 from Vengeful Spirit. Kanra, by going for the early shops, is looking at getting 2 possible checks for progression, but then also the random goals. So depending on how you see it, this is pretty even, but it could go either way.
Yeah, we could also
more beneficial.
Potentially see that 4th check from Mathulu if he chooses to buy the Spore Shroom. I don't believe either runner purchased it yet. It seems like they're both at 0 spent. But you know, if nothing is found at those 3 checks, he may choose to go back for it. Kanra able to quite easily get that Shade Skip, and we'll see what Salubra has to offer. Didn't look like much.
Yeah, Salubra doesn't have much. We'll see what Sly has. Math just cleaning up False Knight here. We got
and World Sense. So Connor's first on the board at 1-0. That random obtain. As well as seeing another egg. There's certainly enough to get to 4 eggs at shops, although having enough Geo is certainly another story. So we'll see. It looks like not too much at False Knight so far, as Kanra also going towards it. So we'll see whether Mathulu chooses to head towards Moloch, or if he maybe thinks that Kanra is on the verge of sniping him. I think now that he's seen the obtained World Sense, he should probably have a good idea that Kanra went to shops, and then sort of be able to go to Moloch.
With that Howling Wraith,
it looks like a Wraiths.
You got to think that Moloch's going to be appealing here, because that's going to be extra damage that makes that fight much, much faster. The only other possibility is that Kanra could have gotten that from the Go Mask Shard, like based on the information that he has. But I don't think that's going to be the conclusion he comes to. I think he's just going to make this read and go after Moloch.
It looks like he's going straight to Moloch. The other interesting thing on medium with the Howling Race, Moloch is actually in logic, so this could potentially be progression. And I think if Kanra gets locked out of it, it's very unlikely that she goes back for it. So we'll see if this kind of pans out very well for Mathulu, or if it's just kind of the goal and also getting 1 check out of the way.
Yeah. The only other way that would be something that Kanra would go for is if she ends up seeing that Mathulu's marking some other things, and then she's going to be like, oh, it looks like maybe there is in fact some progression that might have been missed there. But that could take a while, so that could be big for Math here. So we'll find out. So Malik's kind of an interesting boss
Mathulu's
early
struggling
on.
a bit with the Malik. Looks like he's able to put out pretty good damage though, so it should be going down momentarily.
Yeah, you can get in 2 nail hits pretty safely in between each swipe from Malik, and then finding space to use
and
rates
1 health.
can be a little tricky, but it does so much
There we
damage
go,
that a
able to
lot of
heal
times it's worth it to damage tank a little bit in order to get that rates cast off.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. There
All
we go,
right.
Malik down. Mathulu ties it up 1-1, and looks like the hidden station stag. So that's very interesting. We'll see how it pans out for him.
So that could be progression here. Kanra's got to hope that this is not.
Oh, and there's the claw. Oh, that is very worrying for Kanra and very good for Mathulu, because it's very unlikely that Kanra actually heads to Malik.
How many?
It'll be...
Man, just how many races have we seen where Malik has been like the most important part of progression, and it's just because of that goal, it just makes it so that some people don't go for it and other people rush it, and then it snowballs the game. Let's hope that Kanra is able to identify that there was something there quickly, or else this could be really bad for her. Matt's got to feel about this.
Oh yeah, and I think this also sort of comes down to how Mathulu chooses to play it. Does he mark goals that are claw locked, or does he kind of hold on to them or even not do them? How well he wants to kind of hide that claw, and how well he even can hide that claw.
Gotta laugh at the fact that Kanra just used a Baldur Killer to get a Baldur Killer.
Yeah.
Spore Shroom for Glowing Womb. So that's gonna possibly lead her into Green Path now, though she might do go Mass Shard first.
Yeah, it looks like she's heading that way up towards Green Path. And I think that certainly makes a lot of sense. You have a Baldur Killer and not a lot of other progression. You head towards Green Path. Unfortunately, if she does choose to skip Malik, it will end up being the wrong play, but I think it's certainly a very smart play to do.
All right, so let's look at this board. Is there anything right now that Math can get immediately based off of this claw advantage? Mantis Village tablets.
Mantis Village tablets, definitely.
I think check Crystal Heart. No, you would need some kind of way to get into peaks in the first place.
Yeah, you need either dive or lantern. You can get progress towards that check 2 Nail Masters goals.
Yeah, that would
start getting a bit of. And it looks like he is going to head right up to Cliffs. I think that
right.
Kind of both in service of getting the checks as well as making progress towards that Nail Masters goal.
I mean, technically, you could probably do Pale Lurker, but that doesn't sound fun.
Yeah, no, that's dashless, VS-less Pale Lurker. That's no good.
That sounds a little gross. So it's not the most. This isn't the kind of board that's going to snowball super heavily based off of that one early vertical pickup, but still an advantage for Math, definitely, for working towards these early goals. But we'll see what Kanra finds. There might still be something else here in Green Path or somewhere else that she hasn't been in Crossroads.
Spell Twister. Spell Twister actually quite strong on this board with the amount of bosses there. Spell Twister with Howling Race, or even if he can pick up Abyss Shriek, is going to make him get these bosses a lot faster.
Math going to do this well check. Always a big one to do early
classic post claw. Mathulu choosing to get the Soul Catcher. We've already seen this check, but because he has the claw, it's going to go so much faster than it did for Kanra.
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous to see the difference there between just jumping up and getting the item versus having to walk all the way around and then using a Baldur Killer to kill the Baldur and then finally checking the item.
So it looks like Mathulu is going to do kind of a modified True Ending Shade skip. Instead of dash plus air stall, he's going to have claw plus air stall, but that is going to be his way of getting into right side.
Yeah, you don't need the air stall at all here. Just claw by itself is fine. It's a little tricky until you get used to it, but it's not that bad. He's doing a weird setup for it. I like to just hug the wall and just jump off, just like you do with the cloak version, but just wait for the shade to be a little bit closer to you. It's pretty consistent. I think I've seen some people do this weird thing though, where they like take the damage boost and then get like a parry, and then they jump to the wall to jump off of it.
Oh no! And Mathulu actually kills his shade, and Kanra gets the dive. Dive is very big on this board.
That's very good for Kanra that Math messed that up.
Yes, very good. It's going to be almost, a minute or more that mathulu ends up just kind of having its dead time.
Okay, Hera, that's not on the board, but that is a Dreamer, and this is going to allow Kanra to get Infection, which both grants her access
Yes,
to without a Shade Skip, as well as access into Fungal, which I think she's going to do for the Leg Eater stuff here, just because that is extra checks that could be something that helps her out.
Yeah, Leg Eater, certainly powerful with these random obtains, as well as the Mantis Village Lore Tablets goal. And I think most of what's in Fungal, I guess, would not necessarily be in medium logic, but depending on, what other progression there is early, we could maybe find out later that Fungal was in logic.
Right. Dude, which stag was that? I missed that.
I didn't see which stag that was.
King Station.
King Station stag. Oh, wow. And it looks like our runners may be meeting up after this.
That's pretty interesting. Wonder if there's something there. I'll laugh when it's like Dupe Claw or Wings or something.
Yeah, and Wings actually for Mathulu would be Bout of the Fungal Core Elder. I doubt he would go for that, kind of wanting to hide Claw.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see what Math decides to do with this. It's going to be long enough, though, that it's not going to be immediately obvious to Kanra that he got anything from Moloch. This has been too much time.
Yeah.
Alright, so Kanra going to head down into Fungal. Just going to do the typical checks to the left here. Strumal Ogres, Sporgs, heading into Queen Station Stag. Just looking for any kind of progression she can find, I think. Yeah. Whereas Math has goals he can go after here. We'll see what he decides to do, though. It's likely going to be that 2 Nail Masters, though.
Yeah, going to find that Arcane Egg. Chooses to buy it. Probably going to head to Lamb later. And unlike Kanra, he actually can get this check above King Station, having that Claw. So we'll see if that is, fruitful for him.
There's a will, there's a way, Math. He made it up there. Let's go. Getting those tricky pogos on top of the station.
Yeah, it's certainly, quite a bit harder without dash.
Everything in this game is harder without dash.
Yeah, that's true.
Including this jump that Kanra's trying to do here.
Yeah, this is kind of a low percent classic. Dude, she gets damage boosted onto there.
Dream Nail.
Ooh, and a Dream Nail. That's very big for Kanra.
It's actually very interesting because Kanra's getting a lot of very useful stuff here. It's just like Claw is like the most powerful progression item in the game. But I mean, she's gotten Dive, she's gotten Dream Nail, she's got a Dreamer. These are things that help her out. So we'll see if with these tools she's able to contest the vertical advantage that Math has. Ooh, we got Cyclone with Kanra, Dash Slash. Yeah. 2 Nail Arts being found.
Yeah, I guess that's sort of the kind of nightmare scenario for Kanra is if Claw is Claw locked, the dupe Claw. So we'll see, if Mathulu finds it somewhere, this could get very bad for Kanra very fast. All
right, Kanra picked up a cheap Rancid Egg at the Queen Station stag there. It was only like 120 or 140 geo. Forget exactly how much. And I believe that was her third one. So she's heading to shops to look and see if she can find something cheap. Because that could be an extra.
Yeah, there were certainly there were a lot of
there we go.
Eggs at shops. And it looks like that is going to be that second goal for Kanra.
2-1 lead for Kanra here. But Math is about to get a second goal himself with the Oro check here in just a minute.
Yeah, and we'll see whether he chooses to hold it, because this does kind of give away that he has Claw, or at least some, significant progression. He could have gotten up to cliffs with Wings, but we'll see if seeing that Kanra chooses to go check Moloch, knowing that Mathulu probably has some kind of progression advantage over her.
All right, so while Math does that, Kanra is going to be taking this Vengefly into Blue Lake, and I think that what she's thinking here, because she already has King Station Stag, so it's not just for right side access, but she's looking to get into Resting Grounds, because with that Dream Nail, she wants to see what's at Essence. That's my guess, as well as just taking out Zero on the way is a good play.
And yeah, with all these random obtains, there's a good chance that we do have a goal at Essence, as well as, of course, the collect 500 Essence goal.
Right. Yeah, she does have crypts as well. That's a good point.
Mathulu, even though he doesn't have infection, is still able to get into fungal with nice claw plus air stall play. And looks like he will, similarly to Kanra, see Leg Eater, but unlike Kanra, will not take advantage of the King Station stag because he already has King Station.
All right. And there's finally Math marking that goal. He decided to hold that for just a little while. So it is 2-2 officially here.
Looks like Connor having a bit of trouble with that air stall, but luckily he does know about that soul totem to get back a bit of soul.
Today I learned.
To get it on the second time.
That soul totem exists. I did not know
actually, that. In a lot of speedruns, you kind of hit it through the floor to get a bit of extra soul on your way to King Station. It's kind of like one of those like saves like 0.1 seconds, but it's kind of a fun thing.
All right, so I'm going to be curious here. Kanra now sees that that goal has been marked, and she's going to have a minute to think about this. Is she going to decide to go after Moloch just to see if that could have been something? Or is she going to go for Go Math Chart? I don't think she checked that yet. She's got to think Math has something she hasn't checked. Because it would have taken a decent amount of time to get those two Nail Master checks without any kind of like fast stag stations or something.
Yeah, and you know, she does have a pretty good amount of information. Like, there's not a lot of places Mathulu could have gone this early into the game, so I think she'll be able to narrow it down pretty quickly and hopefully go after that Moloch to kind of even things up.
Let's hope so. We want a close race.
Oh yeah.
All right, so Math heading down for these lower tablets in Mantis Village.
Yeah, a few checks as well as getting that goal.
With Claw being in logic so early on, you could always find like dash or something here. Simple key.
Oh, a simple key. That's very important. There are 2 goals in Pleasure House. Although Mathulu did not pick up his Dream Nail at Sporgs. There's lower tablet number 1.
Okay, there's a cloak.
Oh, and a Shade Cloak at 209 essence. That's not very much.
Yeah, she can get that
pretty like
fast.
One more Dream Warrior plus, you know, a few things from the Seer tree.
Right. So yeah, she'll be able to get a cloak advantage here early on too, unless Math finds one pretty soon. We know where another one is. It was at
we know where
17
another
grubs.
one is at High Grubs. Plus, that'll give Kanra potential access to this Glade check. I'm not sure actually if she can get in, but actually with Dash, I think she can. Just a Master Shard of Dream Shield. She can also begin to check these kind of first few checks and crypts. Can't get everything without vertical, but is able to get a few things.
Yeah. That's something that Math doesn't have access to yet, so you never know.
That's true. He does not have that dive.
Kanra finding her 5th rank.
And another egg. And looks like it's going to be now up to 3-2 for Mathulu.
Nothing like a healthy dose of Agus. All right, so 3-2. Math with the advantage here with in goals. Kanra has a lot of things though that Math doesn't have. Though Math does have that simple key now, so that could be big.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see where the other Dream Nails are, because I think it's fairly unlikely that Mathulu goes back for Sporgs at this point. Looks like Connor is heading to go get some more essence to get that Shade Cloak.
No, doubles. You know, you're wrong. Connor's just hungry. She wants some pancakes.
Yeah, true.
What was that? King's Idol. Okay.
King's Idol. All right. We may see kind of a Dash versus Claw race.
I think we have a lot of relics here. We had an Arcane Egg for cheap.
That's true.
I think I've seen people pick up multiple King's Idols. So
Mathulu has at least 2.
The trip to Lem is going to pay off big here. I don't know if money's going to matter too much later, but
yeah, it's not too much in shops. There may be something at the fountain, and Mathulu has pretty easy access to it with Claw and with that stag.
It's Math just doing some checks and cliffs. Not a bad idea.
Oh, and there's a dream now. Very
Right,
nice for Mathulu.
Kanra taking out that second Dream Warrior, so that is another goal. We're tied up 3-3.
3-3.
And
There's King's Brand for Mathulu. We'll
Cliffs
see. He does have Hidden Station Stag. We'll see
Cliffs, man.
whether that is true Locust Seed or just a Locust Bait for Mathulu.
Lifeblood core room without wearing Lifeblood Charm. That is a free goal for Math because of that Hidden Station
That's true,
Stag.
yeah, with the Hidden Station Stag.
He'll be able to just go anywhere, grab a Lifeblood, and just head over there and walk down and not get hit and free goal. So
there's that dash for Kanra.
Also, because of that Dream Nail, Math does have that Kingdom's Edge route available. It's really annoying to do with just
It's
Claw,
very annoying without dash or wings.
I believe we saw Hamathadi do that in his race against Mathulu a little while back. And that was kind of an interesting play to see. It's not something I would recommend doing, but you know, it's an option. Also, that means
kind of gonna dip into peaks to avoid the Venge Fly, able to come right back and maybe heading back into peaks with this dive.
Yeah, nothing's more scary than that furious Vengefly.
Yes, especially, without any kind of vertical.
So Math picking up a grub there. I wonder if Math is just... He might just be working towards that C-dash. That could be useful. That cloak at 17 grubs is pretty far away, so I don't know if he will want to do that. Okay, he's got his dive. He's going to be caught up.
Mathulu has his dive. He is mostly caught up, but he may not actually see that dash at Essence for a while. I think he's sort of in a similar situation to where Kanra is now, where, Kanra, after she sees Mathulu probably has some kind of progression, is able to think, well, maybe it's at the Go Max chart, maybe it's Malik, because he marked that. Whereas Mathulu, seeing that defeat 2 Dream Warriors goal, may assume, like, if Kanra marks something else, maybe there's something at Essence.
Okay, I believe Kanra here is doing Go Mass Shard. She's probably starting to think now about where Mathulu could have found vertical, or whatever it is that he used to get that. It's most like it has to be vertical though, or something else that she doesn't have at least. I suppose if you had like Stag Nest, and you had like Yzma's Tier and Dash, you could do 2 Nail Masters that way. Oh, there's a dive
dark. That's actually funny. Very nice with some of these random goals, or some of these boss goals.
Sure is.
Versus Grim, either Grim, D-Dark, very effective, and not as much versus Umu, but Trader Lord, it's nice against.
I was very impressed there with Math's first try on the spike tunnel skip there without dash. That's actually not very easy to do at all.
Yeah, that's a pretty tricky skip. Oh, and there's the dupe claw. Oh, that is Mathulu has got to be very happy to see that, because if Kanra doesn't find that original claw that Mathulu did, she's probably not going to be here anytime soon, especially if Mathulu goes for that Kingdom's Edge route.
All right, so Kanra's going to get the info here on the grub. She's going to see Dash Master. That should make her happy, at least. See Dash for low enough that it's accessible for sure.
I think it is likely that... I think Kanra is likely to go for Malik. Maybe not immediately, but sometime soon.
That claw being where it is, she needs at least wings to be able to access that at the quick slash check, and she's unlikely to ever get over there, I think, just because of the fact that Math already marked the 2 Nail Masters goal.
Yeah. And I think Kanra can probably assume pretty safely that the 2 Nail Masters were indeed Cyclone and Dash Slash, because getting a Sheo is pretty difficult without C-Dash or wings. Just a Charm Notch at Acid Bridge. So Kanra kind of continuing on through lower green path. We'll see where Mathulu chooses to go after this.
So I think Math is just trying to get the C dash here pretty soon, just if nothing else, to have some kind of horizontal movement, because walking everywhere is kind of tedious and not very fun.
Yeah, you know, even if that C dash doesn't necessarily get you to any new areas or get any goals, it's just nice to have to make your movement so much faster. It's like he has a bit of an air stall to get up to that grub.
So that is Math's 6th grub. It's always smart to do what he just did there, where you route in your final grub to be this one that's right next to the grubs.
Yeah.
Because you can just kind of go and cache them in then, and it's just nice, efficient routing.
There's that C dash from Mathulu. We'll see where he chooses to go with it. So Kanra kind of finishing up through lower green path.
And then Condra's just kind of to follow the medium logic stuff here and just try to find anything that could be progression. She's probably trying to do a process of elimination in her head of where Math could have found something. And because we did see that very early Baldur killer, I believe it was Sports Room at Crossroads.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
you never
I
know.
hadn't thought about that, but Kanra could definitely have been baited by that.
Yeah.
Halor. Oh, it looks like Mathulu heading towards this enter the lifeblood core room goal.
Right. It's kind of interesting to me that he decided to do this. Actually, can you do this without a C dash? I wonder. Maybe he just wanted to be able to do the extra lifeblood core checks. Because the bottom one requires C dash. That might have been what he was thinking.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
And he probably thought he had enough of a lead on Kanra with this particular piece of progression to not have to worry about this goal getting contested.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, walking across this room does take an appreciable amount of time.
Oh, come on. You get to admire the nice palace grounds as you go.
True, and he did not preview White Palace, no. Even though it's very, White Palace requires almost all progression, so it's unlikely to be progression. But it could definitely be one of these random obtains.
Imagine being this anti-content that you don't even preview White Palace.
Yeah.
All right, so here's Math walking into the Lifeblood Core room, getting that 4th goal. So Math is now ahead 4-3. But Kanra has finally decided to go after Moloch. She's sniffing this out. So she is a little bit too broke on money to be able to pick up the claw right away, but she will know exactly where it is
in
just
true, yeah.
a minute. And then she will be able to start to actually catch up as far as the vertical stuff goes. And she has dash, so she does have first dibs on the SWAT Tiso shield goal. That is something that's interesting to note. As well as she will likely want to go for that Crystal Heart because she's already been up.
Yeah, it's been up to peaks once.
Though Math has C dash, which would make that check very, very fast and free. That's one thing you got to think about there. So if Math decides to contest that, he could easily snipe that goal. Isma's
tier.
Kanra's got to be shaking her head right now.
Yeah, and see how much else of Abyss Mathulu can actually check. Or if he just chooses to kind of leave after getting the Lifeblood Core.
Now, tier C-dash Claw. I wonder if Math is going to possibly want to go after Umu here sometime soon also. All right, so Kanra is freeing that grub, but also taking out these Moss Knights to get some Geo, because this is one of the best places to go for Geo. I see people all the time that they're like, I don't have enough Geo. I need like 50 or 100. I'm going to just come back like sometime later. It's like, no, just go to Green Path. Go farm the Geo by the Moss Knights. It's easy. All right, this race check, Hell in a Seal. Well, I believe you can go and check the Shade Cloak check right now. It's kind of out of the way, so it's not something that Math is going to be eager to do at the moment.
There's that Claw for Kanra, kind of bringing both runners to more or less parity in terms of horizontal, in terms of vertical progression, but with Kanra having that advantage with the dash, Mathulu having that advantage with the C dash in terms of horizontal. Oh, and then there's the wings.
You gotta be kidding me.
Why do I ever say anything as a caster? You know, it's just immediately going to be going to be proven wrong. And Mathulu able to pick up those wings. We'll see. He immediately is going to have access to that Stagnus vessel fragment.
This is some
we'll
very
see if he
fast.
chooses to hold it.
These are very fast goals for Math. This and the Fungal Core Elder are two very easy things you can get.
It'll be interesting to see whether he chooses to hold either this goal or the Fungal Core Elder goal. The Stagnus Stag doesn't necessarily give away wings because you could have just gotten Stagnus Stag and gotten up that way. The Fungal Core Elder, if he marks that, Kanra is going to know about the wings. Although it may be very difficult to find out where they are.
Where was Cyclone? Kanra got that fairly early. I don't remember exactly where it was.
Yeah, it might have been in Fungal somewhere.
But the NMG is in it's in play. We just gotta wait for someone to get the third nail art.
And NMG could very easily be one of these random obtains. Even if not a random obtain, it could potentially be Grimchild, which gives access to 2 goals.
Alright, so Math going in the Fungal Core. Kanra working on getting these grubs for C-Dash. I think she's got that Crystal Heart goal in mind right now, is what she's looking at. She probably believes that Math, or she's hoping that Math doesn't have Dive just yet. And so she's probably hoping that she has Peak's access, though she's got to know once he marks this goal that he does have wings. And we know C-Dash is in play, so that goal is going to be under threat, and she knows that.
Yeah, we'll see, because even if she knows that Mathulu has wings, there's a lot of places where Mathulu could have gotten wings.
Oh, no way.
So it'll be interesting to see kind of, and it looks like Kanra just has a soul read on where it is. Hopefully she doesn't just skip past that egg. It looks like she's heading straight there and is going to pick up these wings for herself.
All right, so we are sitting at 6-3 currently. Mathulu's advantage. We're getting to kind of an interesting point of the race here where both runners have basically full movement. Kanra's missing Tier, and of course they don't have Shade Cloak yet. Math doesn't have Cloak, but he's had the vertical advantage for a significant amount of time, more than Kanra has had it.
It looks like Kanra is heading up towards that Swat Tiso's shield goal. We'll see if there's anything in Kalo at the same time. She's going to be doing a kind of interesting skip up here. The skip I like a lot. It's done in True Ending, where you basically dash wings to kind of reset your hazard respawn. Fails at that time, but she's going to get it soon.
Yeah.
There we go. Dash wings to set up your hazard respawn so that you end up back on that platform instead of where you came from.
This is a nice 2-for-1 play. She's going to get Kingdom's Edge root as well as Tiso Shield in one go here.
And potentially Pale Lurker as well.
Yeah, 3-for-1 even. Math, I'm curious about this decision to stay in Deepness right now.
He could be heading after that Stalking Devout's goal. We'll see. Oh, a lot of Pale Lure for Kanra. Doubt she'll be using it, but you never know. Yeah,
Kanra's not much of one to use that Pale Lure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Though she has used it against me before, so you never know.
And Kanra choosing to skip right past that Great Hopper Relic, probably just going to get it on the way down to get Tiso's shield. A very, very efficient routing, and she knows that she's not at risk of getting sniped.
She's in kind of goal rush mode here. She knows that Math has a sizable lead over her, and she's got to be kind of feeling a little desperate here. Math, I think this is going to be Crystal Heart.
Yeah, you can even go in from upper peaks to make it even faster.
Lumify Lantern.
Ooh, Lantern.
Too. That's
not required for anything, but certainly does make that Stalking Devout's play much easier.
All right, so Math is, I think, uncontestedly going to get this Crystal Heart goal. I don't think there's anything Kanra can do to stop this. He's too far ahead on it, no matter what she does. She is gonna.
Plus, she's not really going to that area. She's just gonna stay in edge. Maybe head off to that Pale Lurker goal.
We'll see if Peaks yields a dash for Mathulu, which would kind of even our runners up in terms of movement. Right, so Kanra getting Tiso's shield here. 6-4 momentarily until Math gets to the Crystal Heart check.
Yeah, I think probably gonna see it head up to 7-5. Mathulu going after this. Check Crystal Heart, Kanra going after this. Pale Lurker goal.
And then she can always drop down and get that Kingdom's Edge root, which won't be a problem with Dash and Wings. There's Stagna Stag.
Oh, Stagna Stag.
Well, now she knows that Math did not come up this way yet, because he definitely didn't do Pale Lurker.
Yeah, kind of.
She knows he has wings. All right, well, that was obvious anyway.
Yeah, kind of very fortunate for her to do that after she had already found the wings and seen Mathulu mark that, because otherwise she definitely could have gotten baited.
Kanra fighting Pale Lurker, who's always quite annoying to fight when you don't have, like, Shade Soul. Basically anything but Shade Soul.
That dash, though, is going to make things a lot easier, and able to find the Sprint Master from there. Not a random obtain, but, nice to just go fast.
All right, so that was a very fast couple of goals there for Kanra. 6-5 momentarily until Math makes his way over to the Crystal Heart check.
And we haven't seen a lot of these random obtains. We've seen the 4 rancid eggs and the World Sense from Kanra, but there's still that Long Nail Mark of Pride, that Heavy Blow Steady Body goal, that the Monomon, as well as even the Grim Child, not exactly a random obtain, but we haven't seen that yet.
As much as I really appreciate the fact that Kanra's going for Umu right now, I have to wonder if doing the Kingdom's Edge route wouldn't be the better play here. But maybe it's just because she figures that Math doesn't have that part of the.
Oh, and there's the Grim Child. Oh, that is huge.
That is huge.
That is a big advantage.
That is 2.
I don't think it's likely that Mathulu goes back for that anytime soon.
So I take back anything I just said. Kanra knows what she's doing, because if she locks out Umu here, Math is going to have no reason to come this direction anytime soon, and that's going to prevent him from getting the read on Grimchild.
We'll see where Mathulu is heading next. Looks like he may be going up to Resting Grounds, able to kind of find where that dash is.
Yeah, because it's about time he gets a dash.
Yeah, that could just be like one dream boss.
I think by about the time that Math gets dash here, once he scouts this out, assuming he decides to commit to it, Kanra's probably going to be tied up in goals, or very close to.
Yeah, defeating Umu and potentially getting that Kingdom's Edge route, or heading to Troop Master Grim.
Right. Though she may be in danger of getting locked out on that Kingdom's Edge route, because I think Math may be likely to go after that once he gets dash.
Kanra has already marked some goals in Kingdom's Edge, so we'll see if Mathulu kind of assumes that she's already doing it. No point in bothering. But once he sees this Umu goal marked, we'll see if he chooses to try to snipe it.
All right, Umu down. That is 7-6. Mathulu's advantage still, but Kanra is very steadily catching up here.
Looks like Kanra having that small bug with Grimchild, but looking to avoid the soft lock with that bench deploy. And there's the little rabbit Grimchild thing.
When does Grimchild not bug out? Let's be honest.
Yeah,
Though actually, recently, I will say I have been having a little bit less trouble with it. Like in the last couple of weeks, I don't know what changed, but for some reason, Grimchild's been behaving a little bit better than he used to.
Okay, should we switch audio here?
Yeah, good. Oh, he's got. Oh boy.
Kanra getting pretty good damage rotations onto Grim here. We'll see where Mathulu heads. Ooh, Queen Station stagger. As well as that heavy blow. Oh, that's steady body, sorry.
People, steady body. There we go.
It's like it's going to be 8-6, about to become 8-7. Mathulu's advantage. We'll see where he gets. You know, he could be getting the Dream Gate here, as well as this Willow check and the Math Shard, which I believe we haven't seen. I believe those are new checks for us.
White Fragment, that's always good.
White Fragment. He does already have that King's Brand. Looks like that is going to be True Master Grim down. You know, Kanra having quite good damage rotations. Able to make short work of Grim.
Yeah, I think Kanra definitely needs to rush for that Kingdom's Edge route now. I'm surprised Math hasn't gone for it yet, honestly, because he has the Oro bench. Oh, she's going for 500 essence. I see.
Yeah, looks like this is going to be that failed champ. Both runners kind of, again, in a bit of a game of chicken when it comes to this Kingdom's Edge route.
Right. Alright, we're about to see some awesome boss fight action.
Yeah, with Nail Zero D-Dark, this is a little tricky, but you know, I assume Kanra will be able to make short work of it, just like with True Master Grim.
Where's Math going here?
Kanra taking a bit of damage. This is very, very tough fight without Shaman Stone or Shriek or Nail upgrades.
Failed Champ's always kind of a scary watch.
Yeah, finally add that first stagger. You know, once you've gotten that one stagger.
Oh no, she's Sports True mod. That doesn't hurt. What? Inch? It's okay. Today I learned Sportion actually doesn't seem to affect failed champs. Alright.
No, Fluke Nest doesn't hurt failed champ either.
That is interesting. Oh boy, Connor took an extra hit there she didn't want to take. She's in... No, she has 3 masks, so...
Yeah, 3 masks, not too dangerous. Looks like Mathulu is heading up to those Watcher Knights. With D-Dark. You know, with D-Dark, you should make pretty short work of them.
Yeah, there's always kind of a meme that you're never ready for Watcher Knights until you get D-Dark, and then once you have D-Dark, they're free, so... that rock.
Kanra giving us all a heart attack in the booth.
Kanra with a bit of a...
that stagger down.
Oh, that was scary. Alright, so the interesting thing in here too, by the way, is Kanra knows where that lantern is. I wonder if Math is waiting for it before committing for like the stalking devouts, for example.
Oh, Kanra, please don't die. The kill chimp has to be so close to staggering.
There we go.
Oh, there we go. All right.
Alright,
Kanra able to make it out of this one. You know, after the stagger, all she has to worry about is the rocks and the 3 health. Should be totally fine with that.
Yeah, not scary at all. That fight's never scary. Don't know what anyone's talking about.
Looks like that is going to be that 500 essence for Kanra, bringing it up to 8-8. Although, you know, 8-8, but Kanra certainly has the lead on this Nightmare King Grim goal, and probably the lead on this Kingdom's Edge route goal. So this is going to be
still putting it off.
Interesting. Although, to be fair, Mathulu also has the advantage towards that Dream Nail Marissa and / Millabelle goal.
Yeah, symbol key for Math would be huge here.
Yeah, I think a lot of this is going to come down to just random obtains. We'll also see, I know Mathulu kind of has the lead on Grubs. That could potentially be our Shade Cloak as well, you know, just the one from Essence, the one from Grubs. Putting Trader Lord kind of possible.
Alright, I think Math is finally deciding that Kingdom's Edge route goal has been sitting around for a little bit too long here.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of seeing Kanra mark the 500 Essence goal, mark the Woo Moo goal, is kind of assuming, like, yeah, you know, she's kind of been everywhere else. She's probably not just going to come right back for this. Oh, okay, Kanra able to make it out of there.
That was a little spooky.
Yeah.
Are they both going for
She
this?
likes to live on the edge.
Oh, no.
Oh, and this could be both runners going for that goal. Mathulu choosing to get a check on the way. This is going to be very close.
All right. Math, I think, has the advantage here. Unless he goes for the camp bench first. He's going for the camp bench first. Does Kanra do checks? Does she do the King's Idol check here?
I don't even know that Mathulu is an advantage there. He is certainly shorter to walk, but not having that dash is very, very annoying for this.
Oh, yeah, he doesn't have dash yet. That's true. For some reason in my head, I think that they both have dash already. All right, all right. He's going to be the first one to start it, I think. But then
certainly going to be the first one to start it. See if he's the first one to finish it.
I think Kanra should have no, he's got to climb up the screen. I forgot about this screen. I always forget about the Bardoon screen. In my head, it's like you always just see dash like from the camp bench area, and then you.
Oh yeah, it looks like Kanra is first to start it.
Yeah. I always forget that the Bardoon screen exists.
Yeah, this could be an absolute disaster for Mathulu, as well as a pretty huge advantage for Kanra. She's able to kind of not only get this goal, but also waste a lot of Mathulu's time, although she is struggling a bit at one mass versus, you know, the whole of Kingdom's Edge attacking her.
Yeah, never underestimate the Aspids. They are a very nasty enemy. I guess by going from above, you actually aggro more of them on the way down. So that can make that kind of nasty. Didn't think about that. Might be a good idea for future reference to exit the screen when you get down to the bottom and then come reload it.
Both runners kind of going pretty quickly, although Kanra has the advantage. I think barring like a big mistake from her, this is going to be her goal.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's still all to play for. This room is very dangerous and not guaranteed.
All right, that is.
And there, that's going to be the Kingdom's Edge route, bringing it up to 9-8 for Kanra.
How fast does Math? Okay, Math immediately realizes it
and leaves.
So keep in mind, this is kind of interesting right now because I do believe that Math having that simple key lead, if he finds one more, that is 2 goals. That is going to be pretty big.
That's true. And even though Kanra has the sort of a very strong lead on NKG, it's a very long goal to do. You know, you have to go and get the Brum Flame. You have to, you know, either fight or maybe banish, go to God Home. You know, it's not free, and it's not guaranteed that Kanra even chooses to go for it, knowing how long of a goal it is.
Math in the corner, giving that Great Hopper a hug before warping out on 1 HP.
Yeah,
that was
like
not scary
both
at
runners kind of getting bullied around by Kingdom's Edge a bit.
Yeah, does anybody remember where the simple key was that Math picked up? I've honestly forgotten.
Yeah, I don't remember.
It was fairly early. All right, Math looks like might be going to brave the darkness of Dark Deep Nest here. Might be seeing some crazy 6 Devouts content.
Yeah, we have seen that goal remain unmarked for a while. Looks like Kanra are going to continue on into King Station. I don't believe we saw this check from mathulu, so this is going to be a new check. We did see the Distant Village Stag, and we know it's at Hollow 1, so kind of unlikely for that to play a role. But the Shopkeeper's key is huge. We'll see. Good chance there's a random obtain there. Oh, Lurian, not the right one. Oh, man.
Shaman Stone is good.
Shaman Stone is great. Especially for NKG, it's going to make it, you know, way easier.
Gotta be thinking that she was looking for a Lifeblood Charm there.
Yeah. Because there's a good chance that there was a random obtain there, but unfortunately not quite there for Kanra.
Alright, so Math doing the Dark Deep Nest play. So, okay, did Math never look at Essence? Did he just decide to not go for the cloak? I wasn't watching his screen at that exact moment.
He certainly looked at Essence, although...
Yeah,
he may just be putting it off.
It's a big commitment to make if you're not working towards a goal. For Kanra is convenient because she was getting that 2 Dream Warriors goal at the same time.
Yeah, you know, at 200 Essence, that's kind of its... Sorry. At 200 Essence, it's either like a Dream Boss or maybe 2 Dream Warriors. We'll see, though. Being in Deep Nest, you could go for Galleon. That, I think, along with the Essence from the Kingdom's Edge route, will get him straight to that dash. Kanra may be heading into Isma's Grove. Always
Kanra with the first try Spike Tuttle skip. Let's freaking go.
And she doesn't even have Isma's tier, so we get even more content.
I'm confused.
Well, she does have wings, so not full content.
Why did she not check the egg first?
Probably just heading right into this skip. I think it's a little easier if you kind of get a rhythm for it first and kind of do each skip kind of in success. See, now that one backwards is not too bad. This one backwards is very tough. Oh, but looks like Kanra kind of gonna pull off the caster curse because
very tough. Douglas says. Kanra says challenge accepted.
No, that is hard. All right, Connor's just good.
So Math doing the Weaver's Den stuff. This is very annoying.
Oh, this is so annoying without dash.
Is it better to C dash like off the ledge there? Is that like can you like drop down and hug it and like kind of like the way you do with acid skips?
Like, yeah, almost like a acid skip.
Yeah.
Not sure.
But I mean, setting up acid skips without dash is also really annoying. So yeah, dying here ain't good. Does Math have Dream Gate?
I believe he does. I don't know if he set one. Actually, I don't think you can set one in Weaver's Den.
Yeah, you have to set like outside. Okay, yeah. I can't believe Math is listening to the commentators. Outside. What the heck, Math?
I'm not sure how many Stalking Devouts he's at, but it's unlikely for Kanra to come and contest that.
Yeah, I think that's quite a ways off for her. Okay, 2-white frame. That is another fragment.
That is access to those at least one birthplace check, just the egg, not having shade closed for the other one.
Wayward Compass. Now Kanra knows where to go. Math sitting right behind a devout right now, just dream nailing it.
Yeah. They're using that devout as a bench, almost.
It's pretty funny. Clever stuff.
Looks like that is 4, I think. Can't really read it from here, but so that's 4 devouts for Mathulu. Hopefully he can make his way into Beast and find a few more.
All right, so we're currently looking for another simple key. We're looking for another cloak for Trader Lord. We're looking for 2 lifeblood charms. We haven't found a single one yet, from what I've seen. So
yeah,
we are,
have.
And then either Long Nail or Mark of Pride.
And yeah, with how close, ooh, the heavy blow, that has to hurt for Kanra, knowing that Mathulu's already found that steady body.
Yeah, absolutely.
And yeah, with how close these runners have been on goals, there's a good chance it does come down to 13 to 12 and just looking for that one random obtain.
Yeah. Pretty nutty race so far.
Yeah, very close. You know, both runners really showing their stuff.
Uh-oh, I think this is Watcher.
This is Watchers
Nice.
for Kanra, probably. Unfortunately, we do know is going to be kind of 3 kind of useless items.
Good for Math, though.
Good for math, yeah. You know, sort of whenever you know that your opponent is doing something long that you've already done, you know, it's always a great thing to kind of waste their time.
Don't think we've seen Math follow quite as much this seed.
Yeah, we've certainly seen a bit of it, like with the Kingdom's Edge route, but for the most part, I think he's been sort of the first to a lot of things, or they've been split up. So
interesting.
Mathulu able to, it looks like Connor's going to skip right past Watchers, which is good for her. And Mathulu able to skip into Beast's Den and go for these last few devouts.
Yeah, Beast Den is kind of like the place to farm devout kills.
Yeah. And we'll see. I don't believe Mathulu actually saw what was at Kalo, although we did see, and Connor saw that Distant Village Stag was at Kalo 1, so kind of very fortunate for him not to get sort of baited into looking for that Distant Village Stag, or looking for Lantern, actually, which was the other one at Kalo, and just going straight for those devouts without anything.
It was pretty funny, actually, because the call is having both Lantern and Distant Village. It's like, hey, the seed hates Deep Nest.
Yeah.
Anyone who doesn't have Dark Deepness down is going to not have a good time on the seed if there's anything important down here.
Yeah.
Kanra finding
Mark of Pride there, bringing it up to 10 to 9.
So trading goals here for a second. That's gonna. We're still looking for those lifeblood charms, man. Where is any lifeblood?
Still looking for another simple key as well.
And Monomon and Love Key.
Oh, Love Key. Oh boy.
Might see some collector content later. Yeah, so 10-9 currently. Again, Math with a simple key advantage. One simple key for him would put him up to 11. Kanra would need 2. Kanra has the cloak advantage. A cloak for her would get her up to 11. She has the advantage on Troopmaster Grimm. So that's another goal that she can get.
It's not very likely that Mathulu kind of heads back for, for the Fog Canyon damage boost relic. You know, given that he has already seen the Umu goal marked.
All right, Math going after Gorb here. This makes me think he's probably
probably looking towards that dash.
Yeah. God, finding Long Nail. We found Mark of Pride and Long Nail within 3 checks of each other.
Struggling a bit with Gorb, but able to heal up, and Gorb is on his last phase, so should be able to get it, and he does. That's going to bring him up to some number of essence, and they'll just get 0 for the rest.
Gorb without any form of fireball is actually not a very comfortable boss to fight. Despite the fact that Wraiths and Shriek are kind of like the aerial spells, Gorb just kind of like gets pushed away by them pretty well. So
yeah, you know, if you've ever seen like a Pantheon or 112 run with Or, you know, it's sort of very annoying whenever you shriek him and he just like goes right into the ceiling and can end up losing you a lot of time.
And likewise, Kanra going into the Soulmaster fight momentarily with just D-Dark and Wraiths is kind of not the best choice of loadout.
Yeah,
but
D-Dark not the best spell for Soulmaster.
Shaman Stone does help though.
Yeah, and you can D-Dark when he kind of does like the walk across the ground attack.
You can also kind of dive like at the same time that Soulmaster dives to get some extra damage with it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's true.
Alright, so Mathulu cleaning up 0. And I
Zero
believe
is gonna bring the runners up to parity in terms of cloaks, with Mathulu maybe having a slight advantage because of this grub lead he has. We'll see, you know, given how many random obtains there are on the board, you know, kind of the 2 pleasure house goals being effectively a random obtain, he may just start farming grubs and you know, go straight towards that Trader Lord goal.
yeah, Kanra kind of skipped past that Dash Master early on too, so that's an advantage that Math has movement-wise. It's going to be able to zoom his way around the map a little bit faster. It's not as much of an advantage as you might think. Saves maybe like half a second a screen or something. Like it adds up over time, but it's not like huge.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe look, Mathulu may be heading into the same place Kanra is. We'll see where he chooses to go. Oh, and there's a simple key. Oh, that is absolutely massive for Kanra, because if she gets those 2 goals, she can just head into God Home and kind of bang her head against the wall at NKG until she gets it.
However, Math is also heading in this direction. If Kanra doesn't find
and if he goes, you know, we were saying that you know, Mathulu heading back to backtrack and check the same area is useless. It's not, because that simple key means 2 goals for him. That it doesn't mean for Kanra.
If Math follows Kanra into Sanctum here, he will get 2 goals.
Yeah. And that bringing that up to 11, kind of, you know, once both runners are at so many goals, and Kanra with the casual QGA, but when both runners are at so many goals and so close together, being up even that small advantage is going to matter so much, because it means those random obtains are even more impactful.
And Kanra showing off QGA there, commonly known as one of the harder skips in the game, making it look pretty easy though. Math getting these checks around the Lem area, which are always good. In easy logic, at least, Rafters is commonly referred to as, you know, one of those places where progression is going to be found quite often. In this case, on medium logic, a little bit less likely to happen, especially with the loadouts that we had early on, but still a very good check to get.
Yeah, and it's something that kind of is gotten very easily, but we haven't seen quite yet.
Right, so I believe Kanra she did the Yzma's Grove area, and she did the Rancid Eggs and the Mask Shard on the left side in Waterways. We never saw Fluke Marm or Dung Defender. And so it's possible that if Math commits to doing some more thorough checking in Waterways, he could come out with something that Kanra doesn't have here, despite the fact he's going to be following for a little bit first.
Yeah, this grub also quite impactful. You know, even if Kanra does have the kind of advantage, having now being in QG, able to get a bit of an advantage in terms of progression towards Trader Lord. You know, if we don't see another Shade Cloak, if it's somewhere very obscure, then Mathulu having the grub advantage is certainly going to pay off for him.
Yeah, I don't remember what that first simple key was. Was that somewhere like was that like Stagnus? No, it was before that, I think. I think it was one of the earlier checks that Math got with Claw, if I remember right.
Might have been Cyclone then. I don't quite remember, but Twitch chat will probably tell us.
I think Kanra's she's setting up for the I believe she's setting up for Trader Lord later with that bench.
Yeah, heading into Dark Deep Nest for now.
I'm curious about this decision. Knowing that Math has already been here for the 6 Devouts. Yeah.
You know, it could just be that like she doesn't want Mathulu to have a lot of checks that she doesn't have, knowing that that simple key is relevant. And it's something like, you know, we look at
Yeah.
the random obtains, you know, and say, you know, oh, you know, we know that these goals are already, you know, something. If he had it, he would have marked it. But with some of these goals requiring 2 simple keys, it's possible that, from Connor's perspective, it's very possible that there is a key in Dark Deep Nest.
As chat points out, though, I'm just kind of dumb. Just going down here to banish, to talk to Brum to get the flame for the Nightmare King Grim goal for later.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Then wasn't thinking about that one. That's why I think she was probably hoping to find that DV stag at some point so she could get over to
well,
the
she did
village.
find the DV stag. It's just, you know, it's probably going to be, you know, a lot faster to just go through the Dark Deep Nest, especially for someone as comfortable with it as Kanra than it is to go through all of Hollow 1.
So when she saw that where it was, she probably decided that she was going to commit to doing this. Which this kind of is a good play though in general because it does set her up for that Trader Lord as well. So it's kind of it sets her up for 2 things at once.
Yeah.
All right, Math gonna fight Dung Defender, one of my favorite bosses in the game. With D-Dark, this is certainly pretty fun and pretty fast.
Punda.
Toma, toma, Taco Bella. Math, the informed
Mathulu able to get both scream skips. Very impressive.
Yeah. Works out nicely. Speeds up the kill quite a bit. If you dive into Dung Defender, dive has a property where you get invincibility frames for quite a significant amount of time after the dive itself. So that way, if you dive into an enemy, you don't get hit from it immediately. So what you can do is you can dive into Dung Defender, and then he gets up and does his scream, but then the game waits until after those iframes wear off to hit you, and so you actually get canceled out of that animation, and so you can continue to fight the boss despite the fact that you are in the middle of his scream animation. That's how the scream skip works.
Mathulu able to pick up that VS. Nice to have, although it's not progress towards any goal necessarily. Luckily not going to be baited into Isma's Grove that we've already seen. And Mathulu heading up to Deep Nest. He could be wanting to do the Mask Maker room in reverse. Gonna get progress towards just Trader Lord goal.
That's a tough one.
Or just getting that last check in Weaver's Den. Last 2 checks in Weaver's Den, now that he has dashed to make it way easier.
Carry the Fallen. Kind of holding my breath here for any one of these checks being a simple key right now.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's like one of the biggest things that we could have them find at the moment. Connor finding that Great Slash. She's missing Dash Slash now for the NMG check.
Yeah, both players having Great Slash, one having Dash Slash, the other having Cyclone. Means, NMG, it is, we've seen pretty much all the progression as Kanra misses her elevator.
I haven't seen that elevator get missed quite like that before. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, we've seen almost all the progression, but, it's very possible that NMG could have either a Lifeblood Charm, a key, or even the Monomon.
Yeah, was the simple key in Cliffs?
I think chat was saying that it was at the journal above Mantis Village.
Okay, I haven't seen. I wasn't reading chat when that was mentioned. Okay, that was it. That was it. I remember. See, I don't think Connor's going down to Mantis Village anytime soon.
I think the only way that Connor would be going down is if she chooses to Mantis Lord. She'll probably do that along the way. But we'll see if she does choose to do Mantis Lords. I think it's kind of a difficult call to make it at this point when you already know you have, you're up a goal. You have access to that one extra goal. She could just be heading straight to NKG at this point.
Baba Gondala. Got ourselves some awesome Brum action here. The Grim Child has been banished. The Grim has been banished. Fun stuff.
Grim has been banished. Looks like Connor's going to be heading into Godhome at some point to actually take down the NKG. like Mathulu also going to find that long nail Mark of Pride. Kanra able to get the King's Brand. We'll see if she chooses to kind of go to Abyss, knowing that Mathulu's probably already been there.
Did we ever see Baldur's
But
Shell?
again, I don't believe we did see Baldur's Shell.
I don't think Math had dive yet when he got here.
Oh, and there's a simple key. Oh, wow. I think that may just be GG.
That's
Kanra
terrible for
she
Math.
can go. She doesn't have the Geo, but she can probably get it with a Zelda Lem. If Mathulu doesn't get a key, this could potentially just be the 2 Pleasure House goals, followed by, defeating NKG.
That's terrible for Math.
Yeah, that is an absolute disaster for Mathulu.
That was like his biggest
I think
advantage.
he was
that
right
had.
there at. He was right there at the Baldur Shell too. He's definitely going to be kicking himself looking at the VOD.
Both that and he had the toll bench right next to Sanctum. He was so close. Oh, he finds Monomon.
Oh, and there's Monomon. Actually, the one thing that Mathulu could get, if he does find another simple key immediately, he could potentially snipe this, because Kanra is going to have to sell the Lem in order to slash Millabel. So if he's able to find a simple key like right now, I think that may be his only ticket back in.
I mean, this is kind of one of those cases where it's so easy to look back at the race and just ask yourself, like, man, if I would have done this thing different or that thing different, I could have won, or I could have gotten an advantage, just based on like where the random things were. But this is just one of those cases where Rando's gonna.
Yeah, it's sort of like the result oriented thinking. Oh, this is interesting. Mathulu's gonna find the Grim Child. If Kanra dies to NKG a lot, Mathulu could potentially snipe it.
Did Mathulu grab the bench in Beast Den?
I believe he did. I think he went down for that. And seeing that Dreamnail Marissa and knowing that Kanra has already defeated Troopmaster Grim, he has to just be in full on panic mode, knowing that if he doesn't snipe one of these goals, he's gonna lose.
Yeah, that is true.
We could be in for a very exciting finale.
And Math has already defeated. Well, I don't know if Math opened the shortcut after he beat up Fluke Marm.
Oh, that's a good point.
They both have the Waterways bench. So I think Kanra still has the advantage on NKG here.
That's true. Plus, Mathulu would have to go and Anish. Even if you have the bench, it still takes a bit of time.
Yeah, I guess that's true. You have to go back to the cliffs.
Yeah, Kanra also has the advantage of having Shaman Stone. Although Mathulu does have VS, so we'll see. Kind of, it's also going to come down a lot to execution. Both these players very good at boss fights. But we'll see. We may be seeing a full-on race to Grim.
It's one of those cases where if Math had either Shade Soul or Shriek, this could be a very interesting sequence of events here. But I think Kanra's got too much of an advantage time-wise. Though deaths can happen on NKG. You never know.
I mean, Nightmare King Grim is not a free boss at all, especially with the kind of setup that our runners have.
Yeah. Kanra is one of the best players in Rando when it comes to boss fight execution. But you never know. Under pressure, you could slip up on a fight, so... It's gonna come down to execution.
Absolutely, yeah.
And Math has to do the same thing. And, without Shaman Stone, the fights are gonna take a little bit longer for Math in general.
Yeah, I think this does have to come down to a death for Kanra, for Mathulu to win.
Probably even a couple quick deaths or a long death
probably
like at the end of the fight.
Yeah. If you kind of die on the third balloon, that's even more impactful than
not even bothering to check Godseeker.
Not even bothering to check. There's nothing it could have that kind of isn't going to be.
He doesn't have a simple key anyway.
You would need either 2 lifeblood charms or even the Shade Cloak. I think is not going to be enough to get Kanra to give up on NKG.
And this Troop Master Grim fight is taking a little bit of time still for Math.
Yeah, it's certainly been quite a while. Although I think that is that last balloon for him.
The thing I'm most disappointed about in this race, we never got to see NMG.
Yeah, we never got to see NMG. We didn't get to see most of Abyss.
We came this close.
Yeah.
We even had birthplace access.
There's going to be Troop Master Grim down for Mathulu at the same time that Kanra starts her NKG. And we'll see how she does.
Yeah, what Jed said in chat, the other saddest thing about this seed is Kanra never found Shade Soul. Hey, Math has Green Path Stag. Now he can go to Green Path.
Math has Green Path Stag. He is going to Beast Den right now. Luckily, he did get that bench. And, we'll see how he chooses to go about it, when he gets to God Home. And if Kanra, at this point, it is kind of all the balls are in Kanra's court now in terms of how she executes and whether she dies to Grim. It looks like she's able to play quite safe, able to get good damage in, and not having too much trouble at all. I believe that's already 1 balloon down for her.
I'm chuckling at the fact that she still has Force Room equipped and it's getting little ticks of damage on NKG.
Yeah,
not quite the loadout I'm used to seeing for this, but it's pretty funny. Kanra's 1 hit away from taking a death here. She's got to be careful.
A bit, but even if she dies, she's still going to get into her. She would still be getting into her second fight before Mathulu got into his first.
Right.
And able to heal up as well. I think this is going to be Kanra's win.
You can see it.
Say that. I should not have said that.
It's a little tricky to that attack where Grim kind of floats in the air and just spawns the fireballs from underneath you.
Yeah, you kind of have to, either just go for it and go for the dodges, or step very, very slowly and try to get close enough to hit.
It's just that usually you have Shade Cloak, so you're used to doing a pattern where you go past Grim and then reverse back through with a Shade Cloak dash, and you can't do that without it.
Cloak.
So that can be kind of awkward here.
Mathulu getting some upgrades. Kanra, I believe, on her last phase or second to last phase, is on 2 health though, so able to heal up to 3.
I was not spooked there at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, using dive here to avoid damage is kind of like the poor man's Shade Cloak.
Yeah, and Kanra doing very well here. You'd expect her to maybe stumble a bit, given that this is such a high pressure situation, but she's able to keep her cool. Get these damage rotations in and dodge most of the attacks. Very impressive stuff.
like this fight might be ending at about the time that Math is done getting the upgrades here.
Oh my god. Oh.
A little
Nearly
spooky.
giving us a heart attack with the
Little spooky.
very well-timed stagger.
No heart attacks have been had during this fight.
Oh, and there it is. That is going to be 13-10 for Kanra. She moves on to the semifinals while Mathulu falls down to the loser's bracket to face
Insane.
someone. Let me find out who. Is going to be facing the winner of Mickley versus Zephyros. Two great runners, whereas Kanra moves on further in the winner's bracket, is going to face the winner of Jetfire versus Locust. So very exciting stuff. Let's see if we can get both the runners in. And there they are, Kanra and Mathulu. How was that race?
GG.
Hold on.
Where are the dashes? Like,
I'm still recovering from that. Hold on.
Yeah, you nearly gave us heart attacks in the commentary booth.
Absolutely. The only dashes that we saw, I believe, were just the ones that you found, Math. The one at Essence.
Yeah,
and
the
one at
Essence
Grubs.
and the Grubs.
Jesus. Okay.
Kanra was just able to synchronize getting the 2 Dream Warriors along with getting that dash, which kind of gave her the advantage on movement for a little while there horizontally.
Yeah. I mean, I got C dash, and I was basically just hoping to find a different dash, and then I'd maybe get the Essence for Shade Cloak, but there were just no dashes to be found, so I eventually capitulated and got my Essence, but it was, yeah. I had, like, Claw early and
That
Wings
was a really
relatively
early claw, yeah.
but then, yeah, the dashes were just very evasive.
Took you a while to mark 2 Nail Masters, so I wasn't thinking Moloch, even though I still had it in the back of my mind.
Yeah, I held it for a minute, too, just to kind of make you think less Moloch as
Yeah,
well.
eventually I kind of ran out of in-logic stuff, so I figured it was Moloch.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
I knew
had it up.
you would end up doing it anyway, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, once you marked World Sense, I wasn't going for breeding Moloch False Knight to begin with, but once you marked World Sense, I realized that you had gone Chops, so I just went Moloch, and then it turned out to just give Claw, which was helpful.
So you just went straight for False Knight then? I imagine?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
checked Grubs first, and then I went False Knight.
I knew
And,
you
like,
weren't
Dreadnought
gonna go
Stag and
for it
everything.
right away, so I went Shops.
Yeah. Yeah, Wraiths at Mound was.
It was kind of annoying to like decide whether I should go for that goal or not because of like all the obtains on the board.
Yeah, there were so
It's
many.
like, do I
random
want a False Knight breeding Moloch, or do I want one of the million obtains?
Yeah. Yeah, there were very little in Chops in the end, though. Also,
Were-
Mark of Pride and Long Nail both.
Yeah,
in
that was
Pro Rooms.
that was. I was thinking of where to go. I knew you were in deepness, so I didn't step in there at all. I was just watching the board to see if you found anything there.
I'm going to go ahead and pull up the game and generate a spoiler log here.
I was like 100% sure that you were gonna be in deepness, and I knew that both Lantern and Distant Village Stag were at Kolos.
Oh, I never went up there. That's funny.
So I figured you had to go for like all of deepness, and it was gonna take you a while. So I just used that time to check something that was unlikely to be checked, and then I found Long Nail and Mark of Pride in storerooms.
Yeah,
And then
I went there
I think
after
there was a
Deepness.
simple key after Soul Master too.
Okay. Yeah, I was wondering where you
Yeah,
found the
we were
second
all
simple key. I wonder where
we
the
were
other
all
one-
getting quite nervous for the simple keys because we knew Mathulu had the advantage, and
Yeah, where
both players kinda
were the
getting-
other ones?
Yeah,
I figured that Math might have found at least one where he was going, so I went
I
to
found
like
one.
cliffs and such, knowing that he'd been there. I checked the deepness in a little bit, knowing that he was there, just because I could have maybe found one more there, and I found
Yeah.
one at Boulder Shell, I think.
Yeah. Math
I
Math
didn't
Boulder
check
Show
it.
and behind Soul Master, and then there was one in Journal above Mantis Village.
Oh,
Oh.
that's right. Okay, I knew I found one. I didn't know where. Interesting.
Oh,
So
you
I couldn't
didn't-
check Baldur
you
Shell
didn't
when I
go
went
down.
through because I didn't have the Baldur Killer.
Okay.
You didn't have a dash? Oh.
No, I had dashed like after Deep Nest even.
Oh,
Like I
I see.
killed 6 Devouts before I got dash.
I got a little bit scared when I saw you mark, what was it? when I was going for Dream Warriors. Oh yeah, check 2 Nail Masters and the Lore Tablets in Mantis Village.
Hmm.
I think I was heading for Elder Who when you marked Lore Tablets.
Oh, I see. Was that your second Dream Warrior?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
All right, so just so that everybody knows, the last simple key was at Collector.
Oh nice, I
Oh.
found both key in storms.
Yeah, Kanra had love
I bought
key.
that. I got the love key as well. I wasn't gonna
Oh.
do it anytime soon though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured Grimchild was in East Fog Canyon.
Yeah, it was the first check there.
Yeah, like so once you found a simple key, I went and grabbed Grimchild, but I knew I was behind. I was just hoping you'd take a while to get to Brum. And
I got a bit annoyed when my Dream Gate next to Lem didn't wanna place, so I just didn't get nail upgrades.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
I was going to put a Dream Gate and come back and get nail upgrades, but then it didn't work, so I was like, okay, you know what, I'm not doing it.
My only upgraded spell was D Dark, which is like not exactly great against.
Yeah, I
the
also had
engagement.
Rates and B Dark, no
Yeah.
Shade Cloak, nail
I
0.
found VF past Dung Defender at the dive check, so that was great.
All right, just so you know, the other cloaks were at what are the 2 greatest words in the English language that are
I
not
was
Watcher
thinking
Knights?
Oh, Mantis
Mantis
Lord.
I did
Okay.
Watcher Knights like
Mantis
pretty
both
early.
of them?
There was one at Mantis Lords. The other one, Kanra, was at Umu.
Yeah, I
Connor, you
check
didn't
that.
check?
No, I didn't check
check.
I was in Gold Rush mode, I didn't have time. I was
Yeah.
gonna go back eventually, but then I found the static path to victory.
Yeah, I was surprised that you took as long as you did to do the 500 Essence and the Kingdom's Edge route. Like, I ended up going for the Kingdom's Edge route. I was at like 40 of the Essence when you marked
Damn,
it, and I
okay.
was like, oh, damn.
I was worried I was putting
Yeah,
that off
that
for
was
too
very
long.
close.
Yeah,
I
All
figured
right.
he wouldn't go there right away, just because I went there and got like all
yeah,
the
but
stuff
I did
above.
simple keys and lifeblood
Yeah.
charms, and I had neither. So like, I
Where were
was
the
I was
lifeblood charms? I
worried
found
about-
like none of those.
I didn't find any either.
Yeah,
okay,
where
can you
were
pull that
those?
up?
So Lifeblood Core was at the Journal Below Stone Sanctuary.
Aww,
Oh,
it was on my mind. It was on my mind.
I never went to Grimchild.
Lifeblood Heart was at the Charm Notch in Fog Canyon.
Oh yeah, I skipped past that.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
And then Joni's Blessing was at Crystal Guardian 2.
Okay.
Okay.
boy.
Yeah.
I figured you were gonna go
Eventually,
for
I would have gone back for Peaks
peaks.
cleanup, but yeah, I had checked everything except for like the dive entrance.
After I marked Pale
or-
Lurker, I figured you would go do Crystal Heart, so I went straight for Umu and didn't step into peaks at all, except for doing the 2 checks in the beginning.
Oh yeah, I didn't even do the dive entrance. Well, no, the second check wasn't that Monomon. Oh no, the chest was Monomon. Okay. never
Yeah,
mind.
I never went to peaks.
VS Where. So there was a Vengeful Spirit at Love Key.
Okay.
There was one at King Fragment. That's the
No.
that's the White Palace.
That's White
right?
Palace.
White
yeah.
Palace, yeah.
And then Shade Soul was the one at Dung Defender, which you got math.
Yeah. I was happy to get it, but I was like, all right. Still
And I
don't
was-
really have any damage. It's
I was
fine.
just wondering myself, where was Queen's Garden Stag? I don't believe we saw that. That was also at Mantis Lords. Okay.
Oh yeah, I hope you guys like the acid skips.
Mantis Lord
Yeah,
stat.
we saw a lot. We saw, the Isma
did
skips, then the Isma
first
skips in
try
reverse,
QGA.
and then QGA. I for one appreciate the content.
Yeah, it was like the best path I could take to Deep Nest, and it was a few checks that I figured math might have not gotten.
Yeah, I
in
didn't
QD,
step foot
so,
into QG at all. I found
So I
Isma's
went
hard
up there.
to get where-
I went up there and just got the egg and got a bench to come back later because I was thinking of Trader Lord too. It was like on my mind later on.
It was a nice setup. One of the highlights of the race was when the both of you kind of had access for quite a while for the Kingdom Edge route, and you put it off, and both of us were yelling at you guys like, "Come on, do that goal! It's just sitting there." And then finally, Math warps to Oro and starts heading towards it, and then like a minute later, Kanra warps to Coliseum Bench and goes towards it, and then you met in the middle, but Kanra had dash.
Yeah,
So-
I think if I had just skipped the checks, like I
Also,
would've
I'm
gotten
sorry,
that.
I never
But that
went
was
back for
probably, like,
Dash Master. I
Mhm.
forgot.
Oh, you never got Dash Master.
She's
When I
going
went- when
along
I-
with
when I-
6 grubs for C
Yeah,
dash.
I went to Grubs. Okay, I went to Grubs lose like 6 grubs to get C dash to get like started on Tiso's shield and all that stuff. And like I wasn't sure which one of the pickups was C dash, and then I just found it like first try. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna pick this up and go. And it just lived.
Oh, that's funny. Where did you get your dream nail, by the way? Was it in Clips? Oh, okay, Sporks. Yeah. Okay, I found that one later. Yeah.
Yeah, I found the one in Clips like at the end.
She went to Green Path very early on, took one of those Balder killers there, Math, while you were kind of taking Claw to go right side, I believe. And so she ended up finding the Dreamer that I think was at the Green Path stag, and then she went back into the fungal infection skip to get over to Leg Eater and head to Queen to like the fungal area from there.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I was thinking of like logic the whole time. It's not like I forgot. I was going a bit out of logic just to like get a bit of like dense early checks that were not in logic yet, and then as the second Math marked the 2 nail masters, I was like, okay, so he has Claw, and then just kind of like start setting up for stuff with that.
Yeah, I eventually.
You didn't mark that right away, so obviously it took me a while to actually go after Claw.
Yeah, I was trying to wait as long as I could get away with, because I figured you weren't going Moloch anytime soon, if you could get away with it. But again, like there wasn't that much else in Crossroads. So like I finished checking Crossroads, I think, before leaving, and yeah, just did like a handful of checks on the way. But...
Yeah, I actually wasn't that worried, knowing you had Claw, just because it wasn't like super strong by itself. So I figured I had some time, but then he started marking Stagnus Vessel Fragment, and I stopped for a second. I'm like, okay, is he gonna mark Fungal Corelder, or is that just Stagnus Stag? And when he marked Fungal Corelder, I started to kind of like rush a bit more.
Yeah. Did you ever get those wings? They were at
the Blue Lake Egg. Yeah. I got them when I went for a so like right after I got C-Dash from Grubs, I went to pick that up, and then
Yeah. Okay, yeah, same. Like I got C-Dash, and then I think almost immediately went. I was actually gonna follow you to Resting Grounds because you marked Tiso.
I'm sad I never checked Crypts until like super late. Like, there was like a goal there.
Crypts had a goal. Yeah.
And I found the other one in Waterways too.
Yeah, much later I went there.
That was a pretty crazy race.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
It was intense. Had Math found that simple key instead of you, Kanra, there, that could have swung the other way really quick. So that was a nail biter until the very end.
That was very close.
Like Pleasure House goals, it's such a crapshoot. It's like wherever the simple keys are.
Yeah, it's always like when you see those 2 Pleasure House goals, they're just like, simple keys. It's always the simple keys. We had like so many seeds recently where simple keys were like that. Just like
Also,
use 2 simple keys / Millie Bell.
Might just be my observation, but I've also noticed a lot of seeds that have had a major progression item at Moloch that ends up causing problems for the runner who doesn't go for that goal initially.
Good old Moloch.
Yeah, crazy race. Well played to both of you, honestly. At the end, it just comes down to random checks. I think both of you played a great game.
Yeah, definitely.
It was interesting that we had like basically full movement with almost none of the random goals marked.
Also,
so it's like okay,
the
we're just
thing that made me panic the most in the early game was I found a Rancid egg at Queen Station Stag, and I knew it was my third. I vaguely remembered Isilda having a lot of eggs, and when I went there, I couldn't afford any of them, and I panicked so much. And I went like next door to Sly, and he had a super cheap one.
Yeah, I knew there were a ton of eggs in Chop. I was thinking about going to Lem to.
I wanted to kill MMC or like something just to get them.
Yeah. I knew they were expensive. I was like, I don't think I'm gonna have to out for this. And then you marked it. I was like, okay, good. I don't have to worry about the rancid eggs anymore. Although I did find 10 of them, so you know.
I had
that going for me.
How many do I have right now? I have like 6 on me actually.
Yeah, I didn't buy any.
2 nail arts.
So I spotted lots of rancid eggs.
Both of you had 2 nail arts, and both of you had one of them that the other person didn't have. So we were getting hyped about NMG.
I was missing Cyclone, I think. I don't remember where mine were though.
And by the way, a Wanderer's Journal was at Nailmaster's Glory, so that would have been a lot of hype for little payoff. But you know,
for a debate.
Useless bait.
So yeah, any further comments from either of you?
That was fun.
It was.
Also
it was
very
a good race.
Scary.
It's always scary. Lockout is scary.
It is
So, yeah.
indeed.
Absolute insanity. Okay, so looking at the bracket here, Conrad, you're moving on to the semifinals in the winner bracket of the upper bracket here. Matthew will be dropping down to the loser's side, and you will be playing against the winner of, is that either Mickley or Zeph?
Either Mickley or Zephyros. Yeah,
Ooh,
two very
winner
strong
of-
runners.
So,
That- Yep.
Lots of hype matches there.
yeah, at this point in the tournament, I feel like anybody can take out anybody. It's just,
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Rando
no,
be
everyone
Rando.
left is just so good.
This is scary stuff. Everyone here is very, very skilled, and we're gonna have some hype matches either way. So,
Rando
Thank
be
you.
Rando.
later
I'm pretty
later
scared of my
today,
next rounds too.
yeah, absolutely. You've got to take on the winner of Locust or Jet,
Oh boy. Have mercy.
which we will actually find out the winner of that match later today. So just so everybody here is aware, after this, in about an hour and 15 minutes, I will be facing off against Palm in the losers bracket of the same bracket we're talking about here. And then a few hours after that, we have Gundam versus Edgy. I believe that is a lower bracket match. And then tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern, we have Jet versus Locust.
Full day of Rando today. Very, very exciting.
And all of these matches will be here on Speed Gaming 2. So this is just the Hollow Knight channel today. So if you want to watch some Hollow Knight, just stick around.
Yeah.
I believe Douglas, you'll be calming this next match alongside
I will be
Kanra.
you versus Palm along with Kanra.
I'm commenting.
Could be an exciting one.
Me and Cake are just switching up here.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's going to be crazy stuff. So stay tuned for more Hollow Knight. And yeah, that's about it. Hope everybody
right.
had a good time with this race, and we will see you next time.
Woo,
GG.
see you.
See you next time.